Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Narciso Rodriguez for him Vetiver Musc. So first things first, I'll address what's going on here. We're finally at the new house. This is my recording setup over here, and so it's obviously a work in progress. It echoes, the lighting probably isn't good yet, the audio might not be good, there's nothing behind me. Yeah, it's just a process. So everything will come together in due time. This is my first video, my first time shooting here, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy with how it looks so far. It's a nice change of pace. So, you'll see this kind of progressing as we go on here. That's why there's been a big delay in videos. Going in between two houses has been exhausting. That's been going on since November, and so we're finally fully moved in here, still getting some stuff out of the old house so we can list it, and so that back and forth of trying to record and do all this other stuff has been exhausting, but things are finally starting to get back to normal. So here, this coming spring, videos should be coming back at a consistent pace for you. I really am excited to try this because I think typically Narciso Rodriguez, they put out some good scents. A Blue Noir Parfum was a great release. And so we'll see how this seemingly fresher, perhaps more green scent holds up. Really like the bottle, really like the presentation. It matches my shirt perfectly. And it's very much a green looking scent here. Just looking at the presentation, again, this lighting is gonna need to be addressed, but hopefully that shows up a little bit here. We'll go ahead and get this one on skin. We'll see what it's all about. I like the black accent here with the atomizer. The black and green, so it's soapy clean and fresh right off the first spray with apparent musk in here, which is no surprise, but kind of a little bit of a cashmerean accord also, like a cashmerean ISO-E Super, essentially kind of giving off somewhat of a soft, woody undertone. Typically, when it comes to these Narciso Rodriguez fragrances marketed for men, they oftentimes do utilize a lot of musk. So this one is a little bit ironic in a way because they use the musk often. Typically, they use vetiver as well. Those are found in all of their other scents. And so now to create a release like this that is standalone and essentially using those same notes over again is a little bit bizarre, but it does smell pleasant. Is it something super exciting? The best thing I've ever smelled? Not right off the opening here. Again, don't get me wrong, it's pleasant, it's easygoing. I think this one would work great for springtime. It just has a green freshness to it. It's not something that is super exciting though. We'll go through the note breakdown real quick. Let's see, up top we have cypress, cardamom, and nutmeg. In the mid we have musk, bourbon geranium, lavender, red algae, and frankincense, and in the base we have vetiver, patchouli, and cedarwood. And so off the top, I didn't get any of those spices, the cardamom, the nutmeg. That wasn't something that came through. I kind of wish it did because that would, for no pun intended, spice things up a little bit, but I didn't really get that. Again, definitely getting musk. The green is kind of coming through from the geranium, which just gives it a almost slightly minty and herbal feel. And then of course, the vetiver, the musk, two very prominent accords. But as far as the frankincense and the patchouli and even the cedarwood, the cardamom go, I'm not picking up on any of that stuff yet. And I think if those notes were being brought to light, I think that could make this scent a lot more interesting. There's definitely a very nice, light floral component in here. Not overpowering, but a white floral of the masculine variety. Definitely picking up on that. And again, looking at those notes, I didn't really see anything that would give off that type of smell. I guess it would probably be coming from the type of musk, maybe mixing with the aromatic lavender, maybe even some of that geranium to give it that feel. Red algae, kind of a fresh marine note is how it's described. Not really picking up on a ton of that yet either. Although I could see that playing well with everything else if this did have a slight sea note or aquatic note to it, maybe a little bit of a salty marine smell. I think that would be interesting. Time will tell. This is one where you would need to wear it on your skin for a pretty long period to let it fully transform into whatever it's going to become. One thing I can tell you is that this is not going to be something that people are going to dislike. So in terms of playing it safe and smelling good to people around you, this is going to be very good at that. You're not going to have any issues with offending anybody. It's coming in at an eau de toilette concentration, which is probably about what you would expect for a scent like this, kind of just a fresher variety. And so we're going to have to see, of course, on performance. I don't know how it's going to do. I would imagine it's going to be on the more average end of things in terms of performance. I'm not expecting a beast mode scent out of this one. But again, we will have to see. We'll let this one play out on skin, and I'm sure in future videos I'll update you guys as time goes on. As far as its progression from opening to dry down, it still hasn't changed a whole lot yet, and it's only been a short period of time, but not a ton has moved in terms of kind of going into something a bit heavier. Still musky, still vetiver. It does have a little bit of a soft, powdery smell starting to come through. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. It's not turning into like a Prada Lunarosa Black powder bomb or anything like that, but just a little bit of a soft nature is kind of coming through to just give it a little bit of variety up against all of the other kind of woods and musk and all of that stuff. Starting to wrap this one up, I would say if you could get this one below retail, which it will get there at some point in the future, might be worth a pickup if you just want something that's soapy, clean, kind of green and fresh for springtime, something a bit uplifting and just, a nice little addition to your collection as far as utility goes. Because I'm referencing spring a lot, but you could wear this one into summer, fall, and winter if you wanted to as well. But spring is the closest that's coming up, and honestly probably the best for it, followed by that early to midsummer, or at least summer when it's not super humid and super hot. This is probably going to be one of their more tame releases, I would say. This is probably not something that's going to be super exciting to a lot of you, but I still do think it's a nice, pleasant, fresh, easygoing scent. I paid retail for it. It was just north of $100. I think it's like $112, $114. I probably wouldn't do that again. I'm not recommending you guys to go out and pay retail as well. I think you can put your money elsewhere. But once it starts going for the typical price, and that would be even cheaper than what the Parfum is going for, so maybe in the $40 to $45 range months down the road as it gets there, it's going to make more sense. Right now at retail, this is one I would probably have you pass on. And that's going to do it for me. The new Narciso Rodriguez Vetiver Musc. Not bad, nothing crazy. Also, it kind of shows, but this is not part of the Blue Noir lineup, which is growing. It's not one of those. It's kind of branched off into its own thing here. I'm using the same bottle style, just different color, just not a part of those. But it can kind of tie back to them maybe a little bit. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.